guys? My name is Brandon, and welcome to Audio Addiction, where you can find the latest album reviews and you can find our band interviews. I have some special news in case you missed it. We are making shirts, and they are going to be up for the next 2 weeks, and so you can pre-order them. They will be shipped out through Teespring, which is the company that we use to make the t-shirts. I'll make sure to leave a link in the description, so if you'd like to purchase a shirt, much love to you guys. You don't have to. If you'd like to, that'd be great. They are $20, so if you'd like to spend $20 to go towards our channel, that would be much appreciated. But anyway, first of all, I'd like to give a huge shout out to Michelle for hooking us up with this band that we're doing an album review on, and we actually did an interview with them not too long ago. I will also make sure to leave that link in the description as well, or you can just check out the eye that I put up in the corner, in the right hand corner. It'll direct you to all of the other sort of band interviews and album reviews and other things that we do on the channel, so definitely check that out. But I'm getting ahead of myself, so tonight we're going to be talking about Illvsionia's new record, Vrania, or Vrania, I guess that's right. Anyway, so like I said, this band I did an interview with, so definitely go check that out. But it features Lyra. She does vocals, and she does vocals of the clean and dirty variety. We have Jad, he's the guitar player. James, he's the bass player, and we have Josiah, who is the drummer, and they are from Toronto, Canada. I was super pumped that they sent me their EP over. It was also a lot of fun chatting with them as well. But I was super excited to check this out. It's definitely for fans of Periphery, Veil of Maya, the Contortionist. You can definitely tell those are the huge influences of them in this sort of album. And so we'll get right into it. So the first track is called Altair. It's a cool little opener track. It helps you get excited for the record. Definitely something out of the book of like Polyphia or like Chan or something like that. Very obviously it's instrumental, so I'm gonna assimilate to them. But I mean, in reality, it's very much them, and I can say that with certainty because after I listened to this EP a few times, I can tell that this is right where it belongs, and I feel like it's a great opener track. It would have been cool to maybe hear some some ambient clean vocals from Lyra like in the background. That would have been sick. I feel like it would have added another layer to this track. But overall, I really enjoyed it. Again, I feel like it kind of gets you into the style and the art direction that they were going in for this EP. So the next track is called Poseidon. Vocally, Lyra does an awesome job balancing both screams and cleans. I feel like that's just something when you listen to the EP, definitely you can definitely tell that she's very good at mastering both. And while at first I wasn't really hooked on the whole screaming thing, I feel like over time it gets better. Like, I'm not just saying listen to this one time and like forget about it. I mean, like, if you honestly and truly give it a good listen, I definitely think it grows on you, because I wasn't expecting it, and not saying that in a bad way. I really enjoyed it. But I think it was just very different from what I'm typically used to hearing. So it was just a cool change of pace, and I think she does an awesome job at that. As well as I like Jad's guitar work throughout this track. I would definitely say it's super catchy. I myself, being a guitar player, I enjoy, where, guitar players get their influences from. So you could definitely tell Polyphia, Chan, Veil of Maya, other bands like the Contortionist, Periphery. You can definitely tell those sort of vibes from at least him. A little gripe that I have is I feel like the bass isn't enough. I'm even listening to it through. I was listening to it through these headphones, and I felt like it was maybe a little bit hidden for me, and I felt like it was hidden kind of throughout the whole track. I'd literally have to like push my headphones in to hear some bass. So I feel like that might be just something with like mastering or something like that. But I definitely enjoyed James's work on this track, even though it was a little bit hard to hear. I feel like he does an awesome job kind of holding the backbone and adding some like depth to the overall tracks, considering Jad's the only guitar player. I also feel like Josiah does an awesome job on the drums. I feel like, again, the drums are kind of the heartbeat of the whole band. So I feel like he did an awesome job just holding it down and doing what he does best. The next track is called Betel. I'm pretty sure. I'm really bad with names, but this was one of the singles that they released fairly recently, I think. I know they definitely have a teaser up for it. I don't know if they released a full track or not, but this one is a favorite one of mine. I have a few favorites off this record, but definitely this one's a great one. I feel like vocally this reminds me of, ironically enough, another Canadian band, Protest the Hero. I feel like she's almost like the female equivalent to Protest the Hero's clean vocalist. I know he does kind of some yells and like stuff like that, but I feel like she even almost has a leg up on him in terms of like screams as well, because she finds that cool balance between like, which a lot of bands do have been doing recently, that cool balance between like clean singing and like that grit, and just combining the two. I like really like that, and I feel like it's again something, a different selling point for this band. I also love, again, Jad's guitar parts. For me, I always listen to the guitar parts first, because I feel like that for me is something that I like to focus on as a focal point for me, more specifically. But I really enjoyed it. Probably my favorite. I wouldn't even say it's my favorite riff, but I definitely enjoyed it a lot. I also like the kind of ambient break parts in the track itself. I feel like it kind of breaks up the track, obviously, but I feel like it just adds another layer to what they do, and it's something different. That, I mean, there are some bands that do it, but I feel like they executed this very well, and executed in other songs very well as well. But overall, I really dug this track. I feel like the drums are great. I really enjoyed the breakdown as well. And so we'll move on to the next track, which is Lyra. I would say this is obviously a favorite track of mine, but I personally feel like this is my favorite track off the record. Vocally, just Lyra does an awesome job. I also like the lower register that she incorporates through this track, but also just high range, like falsetto, stuff like that. I don't know how she masters that, like, really heavy, like, scream, like the scream she does, and then is able to clean it up and, like, do some nice, really clean, like, glassy falsetto parts. I feel like that shows that she's a seasoned vocalist and stuff like that. This song reminds me a lot of the Contortionist. No surprise there. But yeah, definitely seems like a track out of a Contortionist album. Dynamically, I feel like this one is the most dynamic of the tracks on this record. I feel like there's some nice, like, open space, as well as some, like, ambient pieces that go along very well with this track. And I feel like instrumentally it's very dynamic. We'll move on to the next track, which is Orpheus. This one is also another one of my favorite tracks. Another great riff, probably the most catchiest riff off the record in my opinion, and also probably the heaviest track off this album, without a doubt. I also like the back and forth vocally that Lyra does. I feel like it's a nice play off of doing the screams and doing the cleans, and she's able to find those, like, nice midpoints, like I was talking about earlier, where she has these nice scream parts with some nice clean parts, and then she has those nice, like, gritty kind of singing parts. I really feel like that's, again, that shows a seasoned vocalist, and I really enjoyed that. I would definitely say this is has the best breakdown on this record, without a doubt. And I really enjoyed the ending. I was not expecting this ending to come out like this. Reminiscent of Chon or Polyphia, but more Chon. It definitely has that cool, like, instrumental feel to it, and it's just a cool, like, cool, clean interlude part without adding a full on interlude part. So I feel like that's an awesome differentiator, at least in that. And lastly, we have Mariah. This is the first single that they released. They also released a music video for that, so you go check that out if you haven't. I feel like this is an awesome end track. It kind of takes this whole EP/album full circle. They couldn't have ended it on a better note. It kind of reminds me a lot of Veil of Maya. Just the riff writing, vocally, just instrumentally very much reminds me a lot of Veil of Maya. It has probably the catchiest chorus on the record without a doubt, and riff. Again, it's another one of my favorite tracks. And then I like the musical break, about I'd say like a minute, minute and a half in. That's a really cool differentiator from them. And lastly, I've been mentioning it a lot, but I do like Lyra's gritty vocals. I feel like it's something to mention and something to talk about a lot throughout this EP. So first of all, I'll get into the pros and cons of this record. Some pros. I love the differentiation between the all the tracks on the EP. I feel like one track doesn't remind me of another track. And I feel like again it's an EP, so it's a little bit easier to get away with that. But I'm really excited for a full length from these guys. I want to see how they pull things off and stuff like that. But overall, I didn't get really tired, like ear tired of listening to each one of these tracks. I feel like each time I went through it, it had something different that I could enjoy or something that I didn't pick out from the last time. So that's always a cool thing, and I always love repeat listens where I can listen for things that sound different or things that come out differently, or I could listen to a different part or a different member of the band individually each time. So I feel like that's a huge thing. Cons, I'd probably say just in terms of like mixing, mastering, I feel like it was a little bit off. There was definitely I definitely could not hear as much bass as I would have liked to. But I feel like that comes with time and just finding good people to do the stuff. I'm not saying Josiah's bad. Don't say I'm not saying you're bad, Josiah, but I feel like with a good production team behind them and stuff like that, I feel they will have an excellent record to put out. Not saying this EP's bad, I love it, but I feel like if they if they got a new producer or a new mixer or a new master, I feel like that would just take this whole EP and or a new album in a different direction in a good way. So I also feel like it will accentuate parts that need to be accentuated, and so definitely next time I feel like that would be a huge thing for them. But I really can't say anything bad about this record. It's right up my alley in terms of sound, types of bands that I like, and stuff like that. I feel like it's well worth picking up. Speaking of which, it will be coming out this Friday, the 11th of November. So definitely go digital pre-order it if you like that. If you're like me, go pick up the physical on their website, Illvsionia.com. I will put it in the description. Their first batch will actually be shipping out this Friday. So if you do like physicals like myself, like I said, go pick it up. It's well worth picking up. And my overall rating for this, I'd probably give it a 8.5 out of 10. I think it is a great first EP, a great starter album, at least in my opinion. I don't think they did anything wrong necessarily, but I think there was things that they could have changed up, just to make this over the top and just next level. But that gets me more excited to check out, when they do a full length and stuff like that, just to see how they've progressed musically and stuff like that. But yeah, overall, definitely go pick it up if you haven't. I think it's at least worth a listen, at least worth a download or something like that. These guys work hard, and I would be excited to see them tour the U.S., especially the East Coast where I live. Definitely would be awesome to see that. But let me know in the comment section below if you've heard of this band at all. If you haven't, go check them out and then come back and let me know what your thoughts are on it. Also go check out the interview like I've been mentioning about a couple times. Definitely go check it out. It was a lot of fun and a lot of chatting and stuff like that, and stuff you want to know about the band and things. So definitely go give that a look. And lastly, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the like button if you enjoy this review, and let me know if you want me to review any albums in the future in the comment section below. And lastly, don't forget to pick up a shirt if you'd like to support us. It would mean the world to us. We would love for you guys to definitely buy our stuff, and it would be amazing if you could support us. We hope to use the money for that to put into a new design, so definitely be on the lookout for that. But without further ado, we'll talk to you guys later. Deuces.
So did you like the video? Then make sure you subscribe to Audio Addiction's channel by hitting that button right over there. Subscribe to our channel helps you stay up to speed on all of our latest content. Speaking of latest content, you can check out a recent episode from our live weekly show right down there, as well as a recent album review right over there, and you can check us out on social media right over there. So what are you waiting for? Let's talk music.